Our high incline dumbbell row is a great strength exercise for our upper back, and it's also working up into the rear shoulders and our traps as well because of the elevation for this. So you're going to want to bench. If you're using the Reebok bench like we use for most of our exercises, you're going to want it all the way on up to its highest position that it will go. If you're using a different bench that'll come all the way up to a 90-degree here, what you want to do for it here is, actually I take that back. This Reebok bench is not all the way up, it's at the second. So for this Reebok bench, it will go all the way into where it is almost vertical. We do not want that one. We want it down to that second position. So to where it's not quite up at a 90, but it's also not down at that 45 like we would normally do for an incline row or for like an incline chest press. So in between there. So if you're using a different bench, remember, not quite all the way up at the 90, not quite down at the 45, you kind of want in between there. So somewhere around like a 70-degree angle or something like that. What this is going to do, since it's inclining your body more, is it's going to focus more on that upper back, like I said, more on the rear shoulders and traps and that upper back, less down here in the middle of our back. So you're typically going to want a little lighter weight than you would normally do for a normal bent over row or even for a slight incline row. These are going to be a little tougher to perform. Otherwise, the movement here is exactly the same as a normal incline row. We're going to grab those weights. We're going to sit down facing the bench, lean forward to where that chest is resting on the bench, and those arms are relaxed down at our sides. We're leading with the elbows as we pull up and back, squeezing those shoulder blades at the top, and then getting that full stretch at the bottom as we come down and forward. Remember, when we're performing those rows, it's kind of a forward to backward movement. We're not coming straight down and straight up on that row. So we're kind of coming forward, getting that stretch, and we're coming back and up. Make sure you keep your chest in contact with that bench the whole time. A common mistake here is getting too heavy of a weight and kind of swinging like this to get that weight up. Try to drop down in weight if you find yourself doing that. Keep that chest up against that bench so that you're isolating the upper back. So that's the number one mistake here, swinging, leaving that chest off of that bench. Number two common mistake, I just touched on that, is making sure that you're coming forward out here and back as you're squeezing, not trying to drop those weights straight on down at your sides to where we're primarily working our traps, so the muscles up by the neck. So forward, full stretch, coming back and squeezing. Other big thing to remember, like I said, go a little lighter on this one. Start lighter than you normally would do for a bent over row. Because this one is a little tougher, you want to perform it correctly and isolate those muscles. So drop down in weight, and then you can slowly start to work it up once you find that you're comfortable keeping that chest against the bench, not swinging, and getting that full stretch and contraction.